Today is finally the day we're doing our Ford Raptor customization. It's been a very long time coming, but today is the day. So before we get customizing, let's do a little bit of a recap for those of you who may be new around here. A couple of months ago, I had you guys vote on a couple of ADD front and rear bumpers for my Ford Raptor, and then whichever one got more votes, we would be putting on the car. If you don't know who ADD is, essentially they make a bunch of very, very cool off-road bumpers for a bunch of different vehicles. You might remember them actually because I worked with them for the Ford Ranger SEMA project a little while ago. I went out to where they make the bumpers. They're all made in-house in the US. It's seriously super cool, and they hooked me up with some front and rear bumpers for this truck. Well, a couple of months have passed since we did our vote, and today is the day we are getting our bumpers installed. That's not all though. We also got some brand new wheels for the Ford Raptor, which I think complete the look a lot. So without further ado, let's go open up these boxes, get the bumpers and the wheels installed. Today is gonna be a super cool day. So say hello to the brand new shop where we are gonna be doing all of our car modifications on all of our future cars at. This is Merson Automotive in Montreal. These guys hooked us up with some amazing service. These guys did all of the wheels, all of the bumpers, all of the light bars, and all of the wiring. Seriously, huge shout out to these guys because these guys made this video possible. If it wasn't for these guys, this would not be a thing right now. They made everything so much easier. So huge props to them. Anyways, let's start it off with the wheels because the wheels are the easy part of today's install. We've got to say goodbye to those old Ford Raptor silver wheels, super ugly. If you've watched my videos in the past, you guys know I have a hatred for silver wheels. I don't know why, I just feel like they do not fit this car at all. So those had to go. I actually posted a photo over on Instagram of the brake kit on a Ford Raptor, and I got so many comments from so many of you guys being like, hey, the brakes on a Ford Raptor are actually tiny. Like, you've got this huge truck, and this is all the brakes you've got in the rear. It looks super funny, but that's actually because the tire size or the wheel size on a Ford Raptor is only 17-inch, which is actually really small wheels, but it means you can have more tire. That's why we've got such a chunky tire on the Ford Raptor. It actually makes it way better for off-roading, smooths out the ride, you can air down, blah blah. Long story short, that is what we're running. The wheels are awesome. They give the car a little bit of poke as well, which is awesome. We'll get into that in a little bit. And then it is time to go and work on the ADD bumpers. The old bumpers, though, they gotta go. We will get into those as well. We're gonna do a complete walk around of the truck at the end of this, and also explain how some people already crashed into my brand new ADD bumpers. And you'll see what happens. Anyways, we've got to say goodbye to the old bumpers. You might notice that little cube right there. That is actually our cruise control module that we have in the truck. That also had to get moved. So the old bumper gets completely removed. ADD actually makes it super simple where you literally unbolt the original bumper and bolt on the new bumper. I just love the look of the Ford Raptor with no bumper on it. I think it looks super cool. And here is your look at the new bumper going onto the front of the truck. This is what you guys voted for, the ADD Stealth Fighter front bumper. Now, ADD does offer some very serious front bumpers for trucks with winches and stuff like that, or some where you even need to cut the frame of your truck. I went with something basic where it just bolts on, bolts off, super easy, kept life simple for us, and also meant that we could use a lot of the stuff that the truck had. Like, I had cruise control, like I was saying. We actually had to doctor that a little bit, and the cruise control module moved from the old bumper and into the grill of the truck. Anyways, we had to ditch the old rear bumper as well, and Ford actually does something really weird with the rear bumper on this truck. The frame of the truck where the tow hooks are, those are actually welded to the license plate frame. We need that tow hook still on the truck, but we obviously don't have room for the license plate frame anymore because we just bolt it to the new bumper when we put our license plate back on. So that meant we had to grind away at the old welds. That's why we've got sparks flying everywhere. We had to grind that down, make it all smooth, paint up the frame of the truck at this point, and then basically so it doesn't rust in any of the snow. So that gets bolted on. Super simple, no cutting or anything was required. And then the old bumper goes back in. Everything actually worked with the rear bumper, including The parking sensors on the rear, those are those 2 holes that you see in the bumper. They're now filled up with parking sensors. Everything works on the ADD bumpers. Literally, it just changes the look, and also, as you will find out, makes your truck much, much stronger if people want to crash into it. Anyways, we'll do a complete walk around in a second or two, but it is the Montreal F1 Grand Prix weekend at the time of recording this, so I've heard there's some GTRs spitting some flames, so let's put a pause in the ADD stuff and the Raptor stuff and go check out F1 in Montreal.
Keep everything that spills out of the dark locked up behind your lips. It's blooming. Shadow in the spotlight. No stars inside. If you don't care, I don't care. We're out after midnight. You're glowing like the writing on the wall. I finally meet you again. We're slowing down under the moon, painted trails where we've been.
Nice car.
No stars inside. Shadows in the daylight. If you don't care, I don't care. We're out after
So let's do a little walk around the truck and I can explain in depth more like all the changes and stuff, because there are some subtle things that you might not have noticed in all of that. So obviously we started things off with the Black Rhino Roku wheels, super cool. Huge shout out to Merson for letting me know about the brand. I actually saw them before at SEMA and they sort of just slipped my mind when I was looking for wheels until the guys at Merson mentioned them again, and we found these awesome ones and I could not be happier. The wheels are all pretty self-explanatory. They've got a little bit of poke in the rear there. It's a little bit more aggressive than it was, but nothing too crazy. But then this is the star of the show, the ADD front bumper and rear bumper we've got. We've got our huge 40-inch Rigid Industries light bar up here, and then we've got 10-inch ones in here. You might notice there's actually a bolt missing from there. We need to put that back in. The entire bumper was actually bolt-on, which is super cool. It makes things so much more simple, but I do notice that this one is actually blue. There's one on each side, and I think we need to paint those black for ultimate stealth. On the back of the Ford Raptor, it's actually the exact same story as the front, except this is the ADD Honey Badger rear bumper, and I think looks really cool. So we've got our big 10-inch light bars. Those are the exact same ones that we actually have in the front of the truck, except these ones are obviously pointing backwards. We've also got these little cube lights, which are also very cool. We've got our big nasty hooks, which will hopefully keep people away when parking next to me. However, we'll come back to that. We've still got my tow hook here, and we've also got our parking sensors, which also fit into the ADD bumper. You also might be wondering what exactly this thing is bolted to the rear of the bumper. Usually in F-150s, Raptors, and all trucks, you've obviously got like your towing stuff, so you can tow trailers and like have your brakes come on. Well, that's where it would usually go, but since I don't actually tow anything, we've just hidden all of this stuff up inside of the bumper, and I'll probably end up taking this off just to give it a little bit of a cleaner look. If I do ever need to tow anything, obviously we can just throw it back on and plug our wires in, but it's a pretty simple thing. We've still got our big hooks onto the frame of the truck, and like I was saying, these nasty hooks as well. So there's a quick little walk around the truck. It's pretty similar as to what it was before, but I think with the new additions looks so much more aggressive and completely changes the look, and I think just makes it so much cooler. Now, like I was saying, the ADD bumpers also have some functionality in those big hooks, which are usually used for towing or recovery. Because I live in a city and most of the time I'm parked on the street, mine are used for parking defense. And they've actually already been used twice. That's right, not once, but twice in the week or so I've had this thing with the new bumpers on. People have smashed into the truck. The first time it was an Audi and he just reversed into the back of the truck really hard and actually put a hole in his rear bumper. And as you can probably tell, the ADD bumpers are completely fine. So that's our first victim down. The second one was an old lady, I feel really bad about this one, in an old Infiniti and also just backed up straight into the truck, and that one didn't actually have a hole in it but also dented the rear bumper. So shout out to ADD for not only building some of the coolest bumpers on the market, but also for building ones that make your neighbors sort of watch out for you. Like I was saying though, that is our Raptor customization for today. Seriously super cool. I could not be happier with the changes that we made to the thing. I think it looks so awesome and really makes the truck stand out from what it was, and also makes it just a little bit more special. Anyways guys, that is gonna be it for today. I hope you enjoyed our little look around the Ford Raptor and our customization of it. Like I said, I think it was a super cool day, being able to toss some bumpers on, a bunch of light bars, as well as some new wheels. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe because I've got plenty more stuff with this truck, and when it starts to snow again, boy, we are gonna have some fun. Until then though, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys soon with some more Ford Raptor videos. See you guys then. Bye!